Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, CO and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on dgsninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my chalk bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in a mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab trucks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slap Chalks.
Here at Stage 4 Designs, we are all about innovation and athlete safety. We've been doing this since 2015, designing the most innovative obstacles in the sport, and now with our partnership with the World Ninja League, we are very excited to bring some of our best designs to the highest level athletes in the world. For our process, it all kind of starts right here in our digital design. There's a much more deliberate process now in what we do, with our goal being the utmost in athlete safety. So we put everything into our digital design first, make sure it's all going to work, then we procure the parts. We learned the process and refined it to what we feel are some of the highest quality urethane products you're going to find in the Ninja space, and that all happens here at our custom-built workbench. A lot goes into our urethane, and we are very proud of the work that we do there. Everything that we build here at Stage 4 is all custom made in-house. It's not like we have a stock of a bunch of stuff. So when you do place an order with us, that order comes through and we basically build everything from scratch. Paint department is scalable. We basically hand paint most things, but some things that require a little bit more spray or bigger, we're capable of that as well. These athletes put these obstacles through some of the most rigorous circumstances that you could think of, and we want to try to plan for every contingency. We never want an obstacle to break on anybody. We always want our stuff to feel solid and not move around a whole lot, so that the athletes can trust their skills to throw the biggest moves that they possibly can on anything that we put out there. Our CNC machine handles all of most of our flat goods. It's the workhorse around here. It actually does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of cutting things out. We don't do any of our flat goods by hand. We make sure that everything is exactly the same and replicable, so that, you know, if you're doing courses or you have athletes that are going either head to head or the same obstacle that you're going to find at one Ninja gym is going to feel exactly the same if you go to another Ninja gym or your home for that matter, so that there's consistency with all of our product. Over the years, as we've added to our suite of products that we offer, we realized that pipe and metalworking is becoming more and more commonplace in Ninja obstacles, and to meet that demand, we've added the ability to do that here as well. So a lot of the obstacles that you'll see that we design and develop are meant to go on truss, and pipes are a big part of that. So we've added a pipe bending station here, and look for, in the future, us to offer a lot more innovative obstacles that kind of exist in that space where pipes are a big part of it. So here, everything that we put out is tested by real ninjas before it goes out. We want to make sure that our obstacles can stand all sorts of unforeseen circumstances. We know that Ninja athletes move in ways that are innovative and new, and we want to try to account for as many of those as we can and make sure that those obstacles hold up. So we test everything. Over the last 10 years, Stage 4 Designs has been committed to developing the most innovative obstacles that you're going to find, but also the safest and most reliable obstacles. Our motto here is elevating obstacles. We do feel that on this platform, we can take something that's both fun and creative, but also elevate it to an industry that deserves to stand on its own.
everybody. Welcome back to the WNL Premier Series Season 4 qualifier at Austin Ninjas in Cedar Park, Texas. Special thanks to our incredible team and course designers consisting of Nick Fordney, Lulu Moore, and Callan Guyton. They've been absolutely incredible today. It's been absolutely great to see the courses they've put on and the quick turnarounds they've been able to make. They're incredible at what they do, and we have the utmost respect towards them. Hello, everyone. My name is Billy Dix, and I am joined alongside Megan Budway here. We're going to be starting out our amateur division very shortly. Megan, it's great out here. Texas has really delivered throughout the last couple of divisions.
You know what they say, everything's bigger in Texas, including the courses, the obstacles, and Austin Ninjas is always one of my favorite places to watch the courses that they put together. They always, have some big throws, some techie cliffs and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what they put together for our amateurs.
It's going to be a treat, I tell you. There's been a lot going on in the past few divisions, but let's have a look at how our amateurs that we're going to be having a look at soon have gotten here. We've taken the top 25% of all athletes from the World Championships as well as their seasonal standings within their regions, and everybody who fits the 25% credentials has gotten an invitation to the Premier Series where they can compete in any competition from around the world that we are holding. We have got two courses that we're running today, the placement course and the challenge course. On the placement course, if you fall or run out of time, your run is over, simple as that. And the placement you get on the first course will determine your run order for challenge course. If you get the first place on the first course, you're going last on the challenge course. And on the challenge course, every athlete gets 2 retries, but you can only utilize a retry once on an obstacle. And the top 4 athletes are going to be moving on to the Premier Series finals for Season 4, from November 20th through to the 22nd at Ascend Obstacle Training in Marlborough, Massachusetts. Our amateur division here today consists of 7 competitors, and I'm really excited to see who's going to be moving on towards the Premier Series finals out here. Megan, it's been a week out here. Or it's been 2 weeks, I believe, since you've come out and commentated for us, I believe. You went to Ireland for the OCR Championship, so you've been in the competitive spirit lately. How was that, and how should our athletes be feeling?
It was a great trip. It's always fun to go compete other places, and it fires me up to be back here to watch different course designs and watch these 7 athletes take on these courses, and it fires me up to also compete next weekend in Premier Series.
Yes, dude. So it looks like Megan, our commentator, is going to be competing at Carolina Ninja Academy next week. So I've got my bias in store for who I want to win out here. So that's going to be brilliant to see. Can't wait to see you compete there. But rounding out our amateurs out here, though, we're going to have 7 of them. We got 2 females and 5 males that are going to be competing out here. Believe all of them are from the Texas area as well, pretty local to everything out here, which I love to see. The local communities pulling along through. The amateurs as well are from 3 different age categories. So we have the young adults, the adults, and the masters, which are the 40-plus competitors that are going to be running along through our courses here today. It's going to be a very fun time to see who can come out on top.
It looks like we have a good variety and mix of all age groups in this amateur division as well, ranging from those young adults all the way to a couple of masters competitors in both genders. So I'm excited to see the span of athletes that we have.
Indeed, we do. So we've got 7 of them here ready to go. The results that we've had throughout the 2 courses that we've had running today have been really, really good, honestly. We've seen a multitude of clears with some very difficult obstacles. In the preteen division that we just had, there were 2 massive course revamps with completely different mapping throughout the entirety of the courses. And I'm excited to see how our amateurs are going to be able to pull through. And hopefully, we're going to be seeing a demo run commence very shortly to see what our amateurs are going to be up against each other and the course.
Those last handful of preteen runs I was tuning in before hopping on to do commentary were very electric, watching them try to beat each other to the end of the course.
Indeed. So I think definitely it's going to be a race to the buzzer in many cases when it comes to both the placement course and the challenge course. It's going to be a very, very fun time to see who comes out on top in this division. We have some more content for you guys to be looking at throughout the entirety of today, because for the first time in Premier Series, we're having all of our competitors run on the same day. So usually our amateur division, teens and elites, would be on the Sunday, but we are pushing everything into Saturday today. We've got the amateurs going on right now. We have the teens that are going to be happening at 4:10 Eastern Standard Time, and then the elites will be happening just under an hour after that. Cannot wait to see how things go when it comes to the rest of the competitors that we have moving along for this competition. It's going to be a very, very cool time, and it looks like our demo run is about to start. So we've got 10 obstacles on both the placement course and the challenge course. It's going to be really cool to see. I think the placement course is one of the best we've seen. It's very all-rounded. There are a lot of opportunities for links, especially in this new version. We're going to have a look at what it entails right here, right now.
They must be like a machine at this gym if they're able to run every division in one day.
To be fair, Nick Fordney is one of the head riggers at the World Championship, so he's got a lot of experience when it comes to that. But looking at our demo run, it looks like we move through a couple of steps, as well as some holds throughout that spider walk gap. After a couple of balance moves onto a trampoline, going on that ring slider, then moving along to the other side of this gym. Moving along through onto that box. And now we have 3 bars all connected to each other that are bound to mess up a couple people that I'm not particularly a fan of. I wouldn't like to try that when I go there. But looking at things here, we have a lot of opportunities for links with a fidget spinner turning around on that rectangular disc in a sense. It's not even a disc at that point, but at the same time, it's still rotating. And then I believe this is like one of the final laches where we go from this trapeze here on this square grab onto a hold the shape of Texas's state. And that's going to be the final move on the entire course. It's going to be great. I think the time limit is 1.5 minutes, I believe. So there's a lot of opportunities for skips. Time isn't really going to be a factor for many of these guys, I think. But it's going to be fun to see what the final outcome is going to be.
I really, really like this placement course. I'm a big fan of, you know, it's a lot of basic obstacles strung together that you could do your first try if you were just doing one obstacle at a time. But I really like when you put those basic obstacles together and put a tight time limit on it. That's like my absolute favorite kind of placement course to see.
I agree, especially because it's going to be a race between everyone here. And we're not fully too familiar with the amateur field that's going on right here. And because the ages can be very varied with the young adults all the way up to masters, I think the oldest competitor we've had has been 63 this season, I believe. I swear
that's my dad's age. My dad's right. He might be at the Carolina Ninja one too, so he might be our oldest competitor.
Oh, okay. So that record might be broken then. Stay tuned, everyone, for the Carolina qualifier. That's going to be a crazy amateur division. We have 7 competitors out here. We're going to be starting out with the first competitor being Tracy Cummins out here, age 47. So this is one of our masters out here who's come in for the amateur division. Started Ninja in 2020-22. She's competed 6 times throughout the season, coming out of Lucas, Texas. And our second amateur female is going to be one of our adult competitors, Layla Helmer. She's been a competitive gymnast for 9 years, and she's been doing ninja for almost 5. She attends the Uni of Houston, where she majors in finance as well. And when she's not training, she loves all things beauty and hanging out with her friends. So we've got quite a diverse female field, even though it's 2 competitors. We have a lot of great athletes in the grand scheme of things, because on the male side of things as well, we have 5 athletes that are going to be battling it out for a spot in the Premier Series finals. It's going to be a very, very fun time.
Only one of those are not going to make it, unfortunately. So
I know,
I
don't like it when that happens.
It's happened so much for us this year, I feel like,
I
Billy.
know. It's right weird. I really want more people. It's either I want 4 people, so they all have a chance at qualifying easily, where I don't want one person to be left out. At least if it's 6 people, then it feels like there's a bit of relatability there. But at the same time, it's like, can't really do much about it if you're not able to get through it faster. But regardless, that's no indicator of anything when you're already in the top 25% of all athletes anyway. So that's already something to be proud of in my regard.
Very, very true. They earned their spot here from last season, and they should be proud of themselves for even stepping up onto that starting platform, signing up for Premier Series in the amateur division.
Indeed. So starting out very shortly, we're going to be having Tracy Cummins out here for the amateur female division, age 47. Going to be a very, very exciting time to get started with it.
I'm excited. I want to see somebody make that last grab on that Texas-shaped hold. That looks like a tough one to hold on to.
It kind of is, because Texas, as you look at it, it's a bit of a weird state geographically. There's no, like, imagine Oklahoma, but without the little springy bit at the end. It's not like a straight rectangle. It's got a lot of grooves and curves to it. So that might catch off a couple people. When you're on the platform close to it, then you have to kind of gauge how far away you're going.
Yep, exactly. So I'm interested to see everyone take on this course. Like you said, those bars that are attached together, that one could definitely throw you off for sure if you're trying to swing on one and reach for the other, but they're all moving at the same time.
Basically, yeah. But at the same time here, there's a lot of obstacles kind of like that. A lot of them are low hanging on straps, so you need a lot of power to move on through the obstacles, to try and make the laches. And even then, if you barely make the lache, you have the opportunity to link out of it if you want to. But it looks like our first competitor of the amateur females, Tracy Cummins, is coming along through here right now on the start line, age 47. I think she's the oldest athlete we have here today, but definitely not one to sleep on. She's getting ready to go, hoping to make a big impact on our course.
I will say my favorite division to watch just in general is Masters, and specifically being a female, Masters female is my favorite division to watch and commentate. So I'm super excited to have Tracy out here.
Here goes Tracy making a start on our amateur courses out here, giving everyone a look at what they're going to be up against in a competition state of mind. Tracy now swinging along through each of those bars and not having a problem so far, representing Texas. Having a bit of time just to make sure she's balancing along through, taking the jump up to that big ring.
She looks very smooth, confident, and in control on this run. Like her body awareness and the way that she's able to line up for every dismount is very impressive, actually.
Very good stuff. 50 seconds left. She's on pace for a clear, it looks like. She's moving at a very solid pace at the minute. 45 seconds as she's making the grabs along through on those bars that are moving within one another. But here goes 35 seconds left as she makes the swing up to the fidget spinner. Is she going to go one-handed here? Yes, she is, matching it.
She's a little sideways on this one, but then she straightens out her swing there. This is definitely the trickiest part of this course, as she's got a lot of spinning obstacles to attack it. Looks like she might be throwing to the front so she can control, but now she's got to get a little bit of a pull up here and try not to spin away from that ring. Oh no!
She's spinning a bit. She's got a lot of grip she's showcasing. That's going to come in handy on the challenge course later on. But as time progresses down, it looks like she's going to run out of time just before she's able to get that ring. Unfortunate there, but still a great way to start things out for Tracy there. Yeah. She didn't have any sign of showing stress or giving up, and that mentality is going to be a very big value when it comes over to the challenge course later on.
Yeah, that was a very solid run. She just kind of pulled up a little too late there in getting to that ring, and then once you get stuck in no man's land, it's kind of hard to redirect it on a spinning obstacle. But very solid run from Tracy. I'm excited to see her in the challenge course.
Now then, coming out of Rise at the Warehouse, it's going to be our University of Houston representative, Lila Helmer, coming out of League City, Texas. Rise at the Warehouse was our qualifier in Texas last year, but now it's back to Austin after taking a year off after being in seasons 1 and 2. And here goes Layla. I'm going to try her best to move on through. She knows what's able to be done, as we've just seen Tracy have a go at this course. And with a minute and a half, Layla is off.
She wants to put herself in that position to be the last runner on the challenge course. It's always great to be in that position to know exactly what you need to do. And she is swinging her way through on those ape hangers, looking for that dismount through the spider wall.
Here goes Layla. Is she okay? Did she go off the course? Sadly, she did.
Oh,
like she
no!
stepped off one of the balance obstacles. That's very unfortunate there, Layla. Our 19-year-old adult representative in the amateur division looks to be down and out there. She's still going, though. I don't know if that was a mispress or something. She's still giving it a go, but she's down there anyway, so that is going to be it for her.
Oh,
Layla sadly down and out. So that might be her going first on the challenge course if she did go out there, but still a great run.
That's an unfortunate early exit. I think every single one of us has had one of those in our career in Ninja. But now if she's going to be the first runner on the challenge course, she's going to really have to, look through that course and set the pace and make Tracy chase her time on that challenge course.
This is going to be a big one here because we are now moving on to our amateur male division now, just setting up a couple things. And it looks like we're going to have Dane Walker going first. He is 15, so just making it into the amateur division. First off, 5'10" in both height and wingspan out here, 141 pounds coming out of Keller, Texas. He's got a lot of titles. He finished 16th last year at Worlds in the teen male division, so he's used to being at big competitions. So this should be great for his mindset going up against the rest of the amateur male division that we've got going on here. So Dane going to be setting out the league for the lads now.
I'm excited to watch. Have they been making changes between the males and females?
Yeah, in fact, we're going to be having a demo run for the males. It's going to be that substantial.
Oh, I love that. Let's go. Okay, Austin.
Here we go. So just taking a look at things, maybe the dismount platform is going to be moved a bit further back, so our fellas are going to have a bit of a bigger jump towards the first barrel there, which is the first visible change that we can see for the fellas, and it looks like they have to roll it too. Okay. So for our 5 amateur males, they got to look really carefully at what's going to come up as a difference compared to what the females went up against.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love it when gyms take the time to create those changes, especially once you get into like teens and above. It makes a very big difference having a separate course for females and males. So big shout out. I love it, Austin. Way to lead the charge.
They've been very quick in terms of setting things up as well throughout the entirety of today's competition. Austin has an incredibly fast rig team, so they're able to get things up and running very, very quickly. I think this is going to be one of those scenarios. There are some gyms that might take a little bit longer to do things, maybe because there are more substantial obstacles that need to be built, but it looks like they've taken stance here at Austin, and they have small but impactful obstacles for their courses, and that's what's able to be switched out so fast.
All right. It looks like Lulu might be giving us our demo run here on the male course.
One of our course designers for the weekend. Going to be interesting to see what can be done out here.
All right.
So we take a small move onto that first barrel. I'm liking the quad step configuration. It's kind of offset in a few places. Too careful.
Careful.
Right, okay. Still carrying on smoothly with these 3 holds here. Not having a problem. And then we move on to the balance, which is down there. Not a problem. Moving on to these rings. A big slider, as is per usual. Let's see if there are any differences here. Seems to be moving along at relatively the same pace. I don't know if they're not allowed to do that blue one or if that's just Lulu's choice.
Probably just
But regardless,
jumping.
it's a jump up to that fidget spinner. Then the spinning square coming along through here.
Not sure what they changed other than the beginning of the course.
That might just be it, to be fair, but honestly, it could be a slip-up. I don't know about you, but sometimes I end up overthinking the first obstacle if there's a big change to it, and it doesn't end up necessarily the best in ways, because I remember...
Go ahead. I think I just overthink the first obstacle in general.
Yeah, me too. It's absolutely, it's one of those things that you can't necessarily put in your head too much by default, or else your mental state right before you run a course isn't going to be in the best of shape. But regardless, we have 5 of our amateur males going to be taking things on. Looking at things now, we're going to be, after Dane Walker, we're going to be having our oldest competitor of the day, Kevin Helmer, at age 51, run our course. So that's what I'm liking. I like the age diversity throughout the amateur division. It might make it my favorite one to watch in general because they've grown up maybe since they started Ninja ages ago, or like if they just graduated from the teen division in a sense, or if anything in that regard can be changed and they've moved up to amateur and they're against a bunch of different age divisions. It's a lot to take into account, but that's what makes it really fun.
Yeah, it is super fun to see the age ranges and see it's a big like maturity level change as well. You know, some of the competitors in this division are still kids, and so they might take a little bit more risks because they're not as afraid of the obstacles as you get into the older divisions.
Few more minutes here, just making sure everything's set and ready to go. We should be moving into it now. Here we go. Dane Walker, height of 5'10", wingspan of the same caliber. Moving along here, he trains with the True Momentum Elite team, with his coaches being Jonathan Bainge, Carsten Williams, and Jacob Cantrell in Dallas, Texas, at the Forge Ninja Academy, with his coach Weston Boswell in Fort Worth, Texas. And it looks like Dane is going to be getting ready to go. He's age 15, so on the younger side of the amateur male side of things. Let's see if he can set the precedent for what's to come out of our fellas.
And this run is very important for all of our amateurs because it's going to decide who goes first in that challenge course. And only one of our amateur males is not qualifying for finals. So you probably don't want to be the first one to run the challenge course.
This is going to be a big one out here. Dane Walker. Quick adjust of the hat. And he's off and running. Coming along through. He's one of the taller athletes we've seen today at 5'10". That could help him coming along through some of these obstacles with a reach as well, with a wingspan of the same measurement.
He's swinging his way through. Like that one-hand dismount off the slider. Stepping on. Maybe they're not allowed to use the blue bar. It's hard to tell because the jump is also really good to set your momentum forward. But he is pulling around the side of that spinning square and looking for one more move here to the Texas. Over the top of the Texas. Okay.
I like it. Dane Walker being our first competitor to hit the buzzer out here for the male division, coming in with a superb time of 37.54 seconds. Absolutely brilliant stuff there. I like the standard
really
that's been set.
I really like that. I like that over the top, you know, if you can touch any part of that Texas, it may be easier just to secure it, because grabbing it on the sides, you might miss or slip off or grab one side before the other. So I really like that beta on that obstacle.
I agree, but now we're coming into our oldest competitor of the weekend. It's going to be Kevin Helmer, of age 51, coming out of League City, Texas, representing Rise at the Warehouse. He's very agile, starting things out here, representing the older community of ninjas, which we love to see out here. He's got a minute, and he stepped off the course, sadly, and that's going to be Kevin down.
Early exit for Kevin.
Oh, man.
Just stepped off the side, a little unstable. We saw Lulu kind of trip on that earlier, so I wonder if we're not getting a good angle to kind of see how unstable that obstacle is.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's a difficult one, and Kevin on his first foot off of the platform didn't necessarily get one of the straighter approaches, so that might have been what knocked him off. So let's see if our next competitor, Logan Parmenter, is out here, able to move on through. Coming out of Cedar Park, Texas, a home representative of this gym. Maybe that advantage might come along in here on this placement course. Let's see if we can get another buzzer coming on here.
All right. And he is off, striding through the first obstacle. Great step, stops his momentum. Oh, so they're very like pointy and thin, those shrinking steps.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
That's a difficult one, to be fair, but Logan's passed it regardless. These steps might be the same. You can see him being cautious, and he made it through.
Yep, he's reaching out. Gonna take a little bit of a pull back to make sure he slides all the way to his dismount, and he is clear.
He's doing very good at the minute. Just under a minute to go. Goes out to that trapeze, onto the next one. And now he takes the reach out to push on through to that fidget spinner, which he nearly misses, but he uses it with all of his might to try and get a push along through here. Aims for the right side of the disc to try and spin it along with himself and gaining his momentum. Now the Texas looms.
Oh, taking an extra swing just to be safe. He wants to make sure he grabs the Texas. And
no,
one hand
the
was
shape
too
of it.
high.
The shape of it was just not helping him out there. So it looks like Logan is going to be our fastest non-finisher so far, but you could see his left hand kind of grabbed faster, and that's what knocked the right side out of proportion for him.
Yep, that's an unfortunate misgrab of the last obstacle, but otherwise a very solid run, putting him in second place right now.
Brilliant stuff so far. We have 2 more competitors left to go for the amateur male division, the first of which is going to be Cooper Thompson, who's also on the younger side of the amateur division. He is a YAMA obstacles owner and a sponsored athlete as well. Here he goes. He's got a height of 5'4" and a wingspan of the same. He's a very experienced ninja coming out of Austin, Texas, and Cooper's moving through very quickly right now at the fastest pace, no less.
Yeah, skips that. Oh,
No!
but the skip. Oh,
He tried. He tried to go for it.
That's unfortunate. Sometimes you go for those skips, but you know, if he would have just like bumped through the last bar instead. He could have made sure he had that dismount. An unfortunate exit for Cooper.
Nearly had it there. But now we have a final competitor for the amateur male division. It's going to be none other than Luke Van Zeeland, coming out of Frisco, Texas, age 18. Representing the adult division here now. He's getting ready to go as our last runner on our placement course. This is going to ultimately set the tone for the run order. Let's see if he can get a buzzer and run later on in the challenge course and get that advantage of seeing more people go before him.
All right. So far, these have been very exciting runs out of our amateurs. We're just making sure the course is reset, looks like, before Luke gets his shot. And we're giving a thumbs up from Lulu.
Here we go. Going to be a big one here. It's going to set the tone coming into the challenge course as our final placement runner. Final opportunity to go blazingly fast here, possibly, because, to be fair, on the placement course, it doesn't necessarily impact at all what your final result is coming out the challenge course. It's going to be a big mental game to see what Luke can do, and he's moving along through incredibly quickly at the minute. Look at him go, even a faster pace than the rest of the field here.
Yeah, he is cruising through.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, no. Is he okay? Okay, he's shifting back, going to try and grab that former ring. He had a lot of control with it. He's lost a bit of time here, but he's going to try and make up for it.
Yep, he went by going to that, not pulling back. He kind of killed his momentum, but he is making up for it.
Look at him go here, trying his best
wow.
to link the Texas. Almost gets out of there with just under 50 seconds left. Luke Van Zeeland is going to be our second clear with 40.79 seconds on clock.
That was a very impressive run, coming back from a little slip up on that slider, but was able to stay in control and aware and gets all the way to that buzzer. Great run out of Luke.
That was insanely good out of Luke there. And that's going to be it for our placement course. That sets the tone. Well done to Dane Walker for being the first competitor on the course and our only, or the fastest clear, no less. But Kevin Helmer, sadly not getting the result he wanted. He's going to be going first once we get onto the challenge course. But we'll have the females to watch first off, with Layla Helmer being the first one to take things onto things on the challenge course. And Megan, we've got a long way to go until we see our qualifier, all of our qualifiers for the Premier Series finals, and our challenge course is going to be an exciting time.
Yep, I'm excited to watch our amateurs. Hopefully both of our girls can get to that or through that third obstacle and qualify. And unfortunately, one of our males will not be making it, so it's going to be a little bit of a battle here.
Indeed, it will be. We're going to be back with you after a 5-minute break. We'll be with you shortly. Hi everybody, welcome back to the WNL Premier Series Season 4 qualifier out here at Austin Ninjas in Texas. We're out here for the amateur division. My name is Billy Dixon, joined alongside Megan Budway. Out here we have 7 amateur competitors that just ran our placement course, and it got pretty insane.
Yeah, those are some very fun runs to see. Kind of all over the place. We had some early exits, we had some fast clears, and I'm interested to see how that's going to translate out of a speed course into a more challenging technical course.
Indeed. So for our athletes here that might more so be kindred to speed courses, this also could help them in retrospect, because the Austin course for our challenge course here this weekend has been very much speed based due to the fact that the time limit is only 2.5 minutes for 10 obstacles, which I think is the shortest time limit we've had so far this season for a challenge course, maybe in the last 2 seasons, honestly. But regardless, it's going to be a very cool time to see which one of our competitors is going to take home the fastest time out here, because we have 2 females and 5 males. Our first competitor is going to be Layla Helmer coming out here. She sadly went out on an early obstacle within the placement course, so she's going to be running first, but we are going to have a demo runner before both Layla and before our first male competitor, Kevin Helmer, out here, which is our oldest competitor at age 51, representing the amateur side of the ninja community down in Texas, which is brilliant to see. And then our fastest clear of the entire division was Zane Walker, or Dane Walker even, sorry. Height of 5'10", in that and both wingspan of 5'10", coming out of Keller, Texas. Trains at the Forge Ninja Academy with Weston Boswell, as well as with True Momentum Elite 2. He's done a lot of different ninja competitions throughout his time. He's competed 5 times throughout the season alone, but he's very experienced. Same with a lot of these athletes. So it's going to be a very, very fun time to see who ultimately comes out on top.
I'm also excited to see the changes that they make for this amateur division after watching the preteen course. The preteen course was already challenging, but the amateurs are usually bigger in size than the preteens, so I'm sure that they're going to change some of the distances and reaches on these obstacles, maybe make things a little bit longer for our amateurs.
It's going to be a difficult one here, because in the preteen division, we had, I believe it was I think it was around 7 people, or 7 males at least, and 1 female. And the top 4 males were all clears, and they made it through. And there was only 4 clears on the course here. And we have 5 males in the amateur division here, which means only 1 of them is sadly not going to be able to move on to the Premier Series finals. Who it's going to be, we don't know yet, but it's all going to come down to how they perform on this course.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch. Yeah, I know in the past, Austin has been one of my favorite ones, and I'm glad to see that Premier Series has returned back to Austin after a couple of years. They always put really exciting elite courses together as well, so I'm very excited to watch that at the end of today to kind of see their idea come all together for the elites.
It'll definitely be an interesting one. This amateur course will probably be quite similar to it, since a lot of the elites have similar body builds compared to the amateur division out here. Just waiting for our course demo to be all started and getting ready to go out here. 7 competitors, but we also have way more competitors that are going to be happening and competing throughout the entirety of the rest of the Premier Series. Let's have a look at what gyms we're going to be going to next up. There are going to be some big ones coming up, because next week at Carolina Ninja Academy, my co-host Megan Budway will be competing in the amateur division.
Let's
go. It's going to be big.
Billy's going to have to hold it down a little bit on the mic so I can have some time to, review the course and warm up and all that.
It is going to be very, very cool seeing you out there. Vitality is going to be the week after that. And then 2 weeks after Vitality, it's going to be my turn to take things on in the amateur division at True Function Ninja Training Ground in the UK on September 12th and 13th. Life Force in Washington the next week. And then we got Dexterity Depot, District 14, which is our French qualifier, Albany Ninja Lab, Fit Set Ninja in Canada, M-Lab Ohio, and then the Ascend Obstacle Training Finals in Marlborough, Massachusetts, that all of our athletes are aiming to go to. I'm very excited to see who, out of everyone here, remaining in the Premier Series is going to be able to get there, and hopefully both me and you, Megan, are able to go.
So are you going to come to finals if you qualify?
Hopefully, yeah, I'm really wanting to.
Yes.
Because I remember
when you
last year.
qualify. Sorry, not if. When you qualify.
When? Okay, thank you. We'll have to see, because to be fair, the UK amateur division has a lot of big names within the national community, so we're gonna have to see if I actually make the cut or not.
And Billy's
But regardless,
one
I don't. Wow. Okay. I gotta stay humble, so I'll say nothing. But moving along through here, we got a lot of exciting times still to behold. I think Vitality is the one I'm going to be looking out for the most, because there's going to be so many people there.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait to see the roster that we've got for that. Massachusetts is in the same state as Ascend, and Vitality is also there too. So I would assume that a bunch of the Ascend people from both of the gyms are going to go to Vitality, along with Team Vitality and more people within the Northeast. I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's going to be a really exciting one. I'm really excited for Life Force, because they always just put together the most insane. Like, I look at a Life Force course and I say, I would never, ever have the nerve to run those courses, but it's really cool to see the people that attack them and just everything that they put together, the techniques and the unique obstacles they throw in their courses.
It is going to be a very, very fun time. Cannot wait to see how things go for all of our athletes here, for every single one of these competitions in every division, because overall, someone who competes in these competitions will be crowned the Premier Series champion in some regard, whether it would be like a kid's female or an adult male or an amateur male in this case, or elite female. Every single division will be represented at the Premier Series finals in an equal light, and it will go absolutely insane across that Ascend final. I can't wait. We have to wait 3 more months to go.
It's actually crazy that it's 3 months, but time's gonna fly between now and the end of November. And it's cool that we're gonna see just from around the entire world. That's really cool. You're saying like the different divisions are gonna be represented, but also there's so many countries represented as well.
I think because Massachusetts is on the East Coast, and it's also one of the easier states to get to on the East Coast as well, with New York being very close to it. I remember for the first Premier Series finals at Ferox, we had a very large international turnout. I wonder if it will be the same for Massachusetts, and I hope it is.
All right, it looks like we might be getting our demo run here for our female amateur challenge course. Let's see what they've got in store for us today.
It's weird because around this time, we'd usually be doing it on a Sunday, and I have to kind of remind myself that we've had all of the youth divisions in the same day too, because they had a completely different course to what our amateurs are about to be facing right now. It had the same type of mapping for the preteens, and we are starting out with our swings out here. Going to be taking a bit of time to get the grip.
Oh, I like that redirection.
Out over to go on the lashes, now getting that dismount, and then we move straight along into the UFO to the throwback out here. So they're gonna have to swing on the throwback and move along through almost like if it's a trapeze, moving along through onto this log roller, and then the wobble beam. The wobble beam has been in a lot of comps at Austin in the past. Glad to see an old staple return, and then the tilting frames come along.
All right, looks like I like those like dropping tilting frames there. And then I saw this one earlier. The second cliffhanger, you can't really get a good front swing. I like that.
Not necessarily. It's a really difficult one because it kind of stops it from going any further with your forward momentum, which is a very difficult thing to fathom. But then after the swinging cliffs, we move on to spinal pain. This does cause some pain out here because we go from the swinging disc out here, a low swinging disc as well, meaning you need a lot more energy to push on through it, onto that steering wheel, then going down the spine in order to pull on through. Now, at this point, your arms are going to be very much spent when you get to this part of the course. Your upper body is going to be tested, chalking up, ready to go for this cliffhanger, where we utilize cliffs on either side, actually. So on the other side of the board, we're going to be using some cliffs that you guys can't see, but you're going to get a very solid impression of what's to come from them.
All right. It looks like he's eyeing that jump out. And there are cliffs on the other side there. Vertical limit.
Oh, what? Hello?
Okay.
I didn't know this. Excuse me. I didn't know the
Okay.
VL was in. That changes my entire
like
perspective
it.
on this course.
Excuse
me.
That just made this course
Huh?
so much harder.
Especially at obstacle 9. If we had it at 2, then it'd be kind of cool. But like 9 is just torturous. And then we get to the spinning shelves out here, which are kind of like the ender to the placement course that we saw earlier. But at the same time, it's going to be a bit of a difficult one on these shelves here. Moving along through, getting to the end one, which spins. And we move along down to the buzzer. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's going to be the time limit for all of that. Kind of crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that is a very fast time limit. A lot of obstacles. None of the obstacles themselves are crazy, minus the vertical limit. That's a little crazy.
I was going to say, that's a bit of a deception there if you're saying that's easy.
But putting them all together in that short amount of time, there's a lot of pumpy moves. We see cliffhangers, vertical limits. Yeah, this is gonna be a really fun one. I'm kind of sad I didn't go to this one because this course looks really, really fun.
I agree, honestly. I wish I could just go to Texas right now, minus the flight prices. But regardless, here we go. We're going to be having our first competitor come along through of the amateur female division. In just a moment, it's going to be Layla Helmer. Started Ninja in 2021. Challenge course is her favorite format, and that can go for a lot of the competitors here, considering the fact that we do have the retry system available. And it's going to be a very interesting time to see how it's going to be utilized throughout all of these competitors' runs. They can be used differently on different obstacles, or you could use no retries. I think every single clear that we had in the preteen division earlier today was done with no retries.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be a pretty interesting one to see who's going to get the furthest.
That's a very interesting stat. Yep, I'm super excited to watch this course, and we're gonna have Layla. It looks like she's just getting a couple clarifications on the course before she gets onto that first obstacle. I like the redirection in this first obstacle. It's like,
I think it's pretty
not
tricky, yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's like tricky, not crazy, but I really like it.
I agree. But she takes the stance up, and she is off and running. We have our first amateur competitor on the course, getting ready to go. It's 19-year-old Layla Helmer. She's trying her best to push on through this obstacle here. She's got a solid straight alignment, getting ready to go here.
Good
We're out of
match.
League City,
Oh,
Texas. She's having a bit of trouble here. Oh, you say no man's land earlier. This is kind of how it looks like.
Yeah, especially with that wall and those truss posts being right there. That's a very tough one, but it looks like she might have the direction. Is it possible for her to reach back to that other bowl? Oh, nope, she's going to take the retry here.
Okay, fair enough. It looks like using a retry here is not favorable, but we were literally saying this earlier. It is a tricky one, but it's not impossible. So Layla does have a solid opportunity to get past this and further into this course.
All right. Waiting for everything to be reset. She's got the countdown, and she's going to give it another try. I think she just needs to build her swing bigger before she matches on that last blue bowl there. She really needs to kick straight towards that one, get a good backswing, and get a much bigger swing so that the momentum when she matches takes her. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Unfortunate there for Layla. That's going to be it for her run on the first obstacle. That's unfortunate. It is a tricky one, to be fair. Your grip can be spent if you spend a lot of time on it, but I didn't expect it to take her out. That's really unfortunate. But let's see if the fail that we just saw hasn't got into Tracy Cummins' head, our next competitor.
Yeah, that's a rough exit. And unfortunately, that also does mean that Layla will not be qualifying for Premier Series finals, because you do have to make it through those first 3 obstacles when there's less than 4 people to qualify. So maybe we'll see her at a different qualifier.
Possibly. You never know. We do have some other ones coming up, like Carolina is definitely one you could go to, possibly, along with some others. We also have Tracy coming along here as our second and last amateur female competitor at 47. Tracy is a wife, mother, and nurse who stays strong through ninja training and competitions. She's all about doing hard things and is her son Logan's biggest fan. Let's see if she can do Logan proud here on this challenge course.
She's making her way through. Hopefully, she saw what happened with Layla and she's able to adjust her swing over to that other blue one. I wonder if you almost want to kick diagonally and not straight forward, because when you match in that backswing, it kind of sends you in a circle like that.
Oh, yeah, that's what you're talking about. Don't curse it, Megan. What you doing?
I'm not cursing. I'm just explaining the obstacle.
Fair enough. All right, you get a pass.
Oh, yeah. I think instead of kicking straight forward, they either need to kick slightly at an angle, or they need to match on that front swing and use that momentum to get closer to the last blue ball.
Very much possible. Tracy, you can see her shaking out, trying to get the blood circulation in her arms, carrying along here. 1 minute and 52 seconds now. She's trying her best to move on through it. She's gonna
go backwards.
I like this. We saw this happen in the earlier divisions, and it worked well for her. Just needs to turn around and reach out, and she has it. Endure it.
Come on, Tracy.
Almost there. Just needs to match it and get that dismount, which she's got.
Yeah.
She's through.
Great adjustment by Tracy. You can see that big smile on her face, but she still has to get through 2 more obstacles in order to qualify to finals.
1 minute and 15 seconds left for Tracy to go. Taking a back and forth swing up to that upward trapeze there. Not having a problem as she makes the dismount as well. Had a lot to impact there. But regardless, she's still making her way through. She's got a minute left on the challenge course.
All right. Great run so far. Out of Tracy. You know she wants to get deep into this course, but she does only need this one more obstacle. She's got that disc in her hand. Now she's got to get over to that throwback. I believe
it. Big one here because it will swing once you get onto it. And it's a very big jump as well. She needs to use all of her force, but she just comes up short.
Oh, no. You've got time, though. We've got 35 seconds on the clock.
Indeed we do.
I believe in you, Tracy. Come on.
Taking a bit of time to get ready. Deep breath. With 30 seconds, she really needs to lock in here to try and get further into this challenge course. Taking the swing. She's going to go back and forth to try and gain the momentum to get up to the disc first off.
Oh, come on. We got 18 seconds. And just runs out of energy. Yeah.
Sadly, that's going to be it for Tracy Cummins and our amateur female division as a whole, sadly, there. Still did a very good job persevering through that first obstacle. It is a difficult one, to be fair. I think with my tiny wingspan, I'd have a very difficult time hanging on to all of those little holds there. So I commend Tracy for getting through that. But now it's time to shift the attention over to the amateur male division, where we're going to be having our oldest competitor of the day, Kevin Helmer, take things on next.
All right. Hopefully, he watched our first 2 ladies go and got a little bit of beta, at least on this first obstacle for sure. And hopefully we can see our males get a little deeper into the course. Great job to the ladies taking on definitely a very challenging course. It's kind of sad, though, that we won't be seeing either one of them in finals because we just could not get through those first 3 obstacles. This is definitely taking challenge course to a new level.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a difficult one due to first of all, the difficulty of the obstacles, but the time limit looming down very quickly as well doesn't allow for much of a journey, even if you were to move through the obstacles without those retries there. So I'm excited to see these 5 fellas take it on and who ultimately is going to come out on top. We're going to be getting another demo run for the males course momentarily, which probably means we're going to be getting another couple of a couple of adjustments coming through on this challenge course very shortly.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they change. If that's how it was already and they're going to make it even harder, sheesh.
Going to be a difficult one out here. I think overall, when it comes over to challenge courses like this, the males would be best off not getting those runs into their head, because if they're thinking that the runs that they saw from the amateur female divisions were maybe the best it's going to get, then they're just going to try and limit their potential further. So I think they need to believe in themselves and try their best, trust their training that they've put in for X amount of years that they've been doing Ninja, and try and use that experience to a solid degree, because many great things can happen if you do that, especially after learning from runs before you.
Yeah, exactly. Which, that's why the placement course is so important, because it does put you in that later run. If you have the better run on the placement course, and you can learn beta and watch other people and maybe make adjustments to your own run based on something you see somebody else try.
It's definitely possible. Looking at Dane Walker, who was our fastest clear of the day on the placement course from earlier, you can see he's got a lot of potential. We have a lot of different events that he runs in, but we're going to be having a look at our demo run for the males division out here, it looks like. Just having a look at things and seeing what could be different moving along into things here.
All right. I'm excited to see it.
As am I. You can see, is it Lulu on the course?
Looks like it.
Here we go. Starting out, we're going to be moving straight on into our placement course.
You see how he's kicking diagonally? Yep.
Yeah, and even then it was a tough reach for him.
Yeah, even then it was a little out of control, but from a coach's perspective, that's what I would tell my kids to do. Just kick at a slight angle.
You can see him looking along through here. I think once we come on to the later divisions, particularly the elites, an actual throwback move might be in play, but it's a big jump over to that platform for our amateurs. Moving across our balance obstacles here. That's what they're going to be doing.
Big
now then,
jump
coming
out.
along into the swinging frames out here. Going to be a difficult one. Very big laches.
It's interesting. The second one, it looks like it hits up on a bar, and you can't really get a front swing on those. The last obstacle. I like that. I like that they're controlling the kind of swing you can use on the obstacles. It's cool.
Looking at things here, things look to be the same as we go on to the cliffhangers. Moving on to the swinging disc over on the spinal pain. Moving along down, and now the VL, which is new. Torturous out here on this cliff line. Wait, what? Okay, so there are cliffhangers on the other side.
Oh,
just so
what?
You know.
So he just chose to
He just did the VL strategy with using the thumbs on the other side. That's more effort.
Yeah, that's what I was about to be like, did they make the male course easier?
I was gonna say, yeah.
But no, there are cliffhangers on that side, and that looks like that last one drops and spins, and Lulu's gonna control his swing here over to that buzzer. It's a great challenge course out here.
Indeed it is. 10 obstacles long. Going to be a difficult one for our amateur males to take things on. A very large age group, going basically 15 and upward, taking our young adults, and master divisions into account here. And one of our masters is going to be up first. Coming first on the placement on the challenge course here is going to be Kevin Helmer, coming in at age 51 out of League City, Texas. Now, he went out on a balance obstacle, so we haven't got to see him with his upper body endurance yet. So I'm excited to see how that can change his run.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Sometimes also you get one course out of the way, and that placement course is almost like a getting the nerves out, a warm up into the challenge course. So hopefully, he got his nerves out on those first couple obstacles, and he's going to really bring it to the table here for the challenge course. And you get the retries too, which help a lot.
Looking at things out here, all of them seem to be very local to Texas. They might have trained here a lot before. We already know some people coming out of Rise, particularly Kevin out here representing a Rise shirt on the start line in just a moment, it looks like. Having a look at things, just making sure everything is ready to go and in play for all of our athletes to take on. Going to be a very fun one to see.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am really excited, I think, to watch Luke after watching him on that placement course just with that little, miss swing on the slider. But if that's the kind of energy that he brought to the placement course, I am very excited to see how Luke takes on this challenge course and if we're going to see him attack it at the same speed that he attacked the first course.
I do believe he would have had the fastest time as well if he was able to
easily.
If he was able to get off of that ring first time around. So he could be the faster athlete overall. So we're just going to have to wait and see if he can get the top spot at today's competition out here at Austin Ninjas in Texas.
Yeah, but I think Dane's going to give him a run for his money.
I agree. We know that he's a very good athlete, very well decorated within the sport too. He's got a very solid build for things as well, with a 5'10" height and wingspan, so he can reach out to. There's a lot of reaching in this course, to be fair. But on the start line right now, Kevin Helmer, our 51-year-old master, coming out of the Rise warehouse, and he's getting ready to go.
And he is off on our first obstacle here. I want to see everybody get through this one. Getting a little bit of a circle swing already. Maybe he can use that to his advantage. There we go. He's kind of kicking at a little angle here. It looks like he's going to turn and...
he's got the reach. Yes, dude.
Oh my
Kevin Helmer.
Be careful.
He's got onto the final hole. Just needs to dismount and he's got it.
That's
Lovely
the
stuff there. Our first athlete of the amateur division to get through the tricky first obstacle without a retry. Let's see how he can fare on his laches.
Yeah, that is a tough first obstacle. You know, it kind of like throws you out of sorts there, but he's looking great on these laches. His fingertips on the first one, just needs to drop down. Great control, and now he's looking for the dismount here. No!
Oh, no!
Kevin!
Just wasn't able to get it. Claps out of down. Here he goes. Kevin, he's getting ready to go. Just under 1 minute and 40 seconds on the clock. Let's see if he can get past these laches and if he has enough energy left in him to carry on through this course.
Always fall forward, fall to your knees.
No! Unfortunately,
Don't fall
just
to
wasn't
the ground,
able.
though. Oh,
Sadly. You can see
Oh.
there. On his first attempt, that lache
Yeah.
up to the top bar was very, very good, but it just looked like after using a lot of energy on the first attempt, just knocked him out there.
Yeah, just a little short on that second try, but huge shout out to Kevin for coming out. I always think it's difficult for the masters to decide if they're going to sign up because of the age difference, but we love to see our masters division out here in Premier Series.
Now they're moving into our top four. For the amateur males, it's going to be Cooper Thompson moving first off. 5'4" in both height and wingspan, a sponsored athlete
Interesting.
and the owner of YAMA Obstacles. Here he moves. He's going to set himself straight away and dismount immediately. Hold it. Yes!
Yeah! Let's go, Cooper.
Okay. I am a fan of this currently. Cooper moves straight on through.
Wow.
And he links the... Oh, yes, dude. Come on. This is what we like to see.
I don't think we got to see Cooper's full potential in that placement course, but I am really liking what I'm seeing. He's looking smooth, linking everything in this challenge course. Wow. Okay, Cooper.
You can see him moving along, setting his hip back. So can he get it? He skips the final cliff,
my
mate.
gosh.
I give up. What is this?
Cooper, if this is... We still have so many runners after him, and this is the kind of performance that we're getting from this amateur division. Wow, I have no words.
This is brilliant. I don't know how this could get any faster, but we're probably going to see some paces be broken here. But Cooper Thompson moving along through on the backwards cliff and dismounts accordingly. We've got 1 minute and 10 seconds with no retries used yet.
Linking through that first one. He just needs to set his hips up for the dismount, linking the dismount, and a full clear with no retries from Cooper.
I'm giving him a standing ovation. That is
standing up from
genuinely
your
one
chair.
of the best things I have ever seen so far from a Premier Series competition. Really blowing it out of the water there with links on basically every obstacle. I think that's the fastest we've got all day.
That was a very impressive run. Like I said, I don't think we got to see his full potential. He held back on us on the placement course. He just wanted to give us a little surprise. And the last couple runners they're really going to have to chase that time coming after him.
It's going to be a difficult one to beat that, though, but I have faith They were all able to get through or get very close to clearing the placement course from earlier. Logan Parmenter, age 23, coming out of Cedar Park, Texas, and Austin Ninja's rep. He's getting ready to go and hopefully to best that performance we just saw.
All right, grabbing that first bull. Let's see if he's going to go for the skip here like we saw Cooper, if he's going to do the obstacle as intended. He's got that
Very
other
solid.
bull. Looks like we're going to go for the skip here. The backswing's difficult. The wall is right there, but he gets it, no problem.
Dude.
The gate is open now.
I'm loving this. He's moving at a very efficient pace, trying to save as much time as he can, linking off of that bar.
Yep, building up our swing now. We got to get up to that disc. You know, as an earlier runner, whenever I see somebody do beta like that on the first obstacle and I didn't do it, I always kind of kick myself. I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
Me too! Oh my goodness, that's very true. Here he goes, Logan, across the first part of this balance gauntlet, coming along through onto the wobbly pipe, and he's got it. Now he's going to come into the tilting frames.
Yep, he's looking for that first lache. Just needs a backswing, and he is out of there. His links and his dismounts are very, very strong. It's looking clean out here.
A minute and 20 seconds as he's chalking up to get ready for these very difficult cliffhangers. Is he going to be able to get it?
Getting that first one that fully swings. Now the second one, you cannot really take a big front swing, so you got to use that momentum. And when that cliffhanger stops, you got to use it to propel yourself forward. And he's,
oh, right at the end. He just slipped with his fingertips there. Right, Logan. Let's see how he can fare. He's shaking out his fingertips to try and get a solid redemption coming into these cliffs. It's going to be a big decider here. He's got a minute left. He has to clear this in order to carry on his run.
1 minute on the clock. You know he's got to be feeling it at this point too. After already doing a cliffhanger obstacle once, he's got to try it again.
Oh
and
no! It just seems like
slips.
he's a bit too tired to carry on with that obstacle, and understandably so, to be fair. It was a very difficult move throughout the rest of the courses here that we're seeing. Oh my goodness me. He had a lot of tech though. I appreciated the way he was able to get off the obstacles fast, but it just seemed like he used up too much energy on the first attempt of that cliffhanger. But now things get interesting because we're now going to be moving along into our final two competitors, Luke Van Zeeland being the first.
Yep, I'm excited for this run. You know, after seeing him in the placement course, I think he's going to really try to chase Cooper's time.
This is going to be a big one out here. Luke Van Zeeland coming out of Frisco, Texas. We know he's capable of many good things. Let's see if he can get a second clear here. Trying to go up against Cooper Thompson. Nice tech there. He's already he's gibboning.
Oh
what?
My gosh, the pull throughs that this kid has. The power that he has. Taking a little backswing here. He's going to set to that throwback, linking the dismount, going right into the balance.
He looks absolutely flawless right now. I'm loving the fact he just has so much trust in his hands to just do anything at this point. 2.5 seconds ahead of Cooper to this point. We can see a change in lead, possibly.
Oh,
He's linking.
no!
Oh, nearly. Okay, you got to be careful now. I would recommend not linking that second jump because to get rid of this run right here would be a detriment.
Yeah, that lack of front swing, I think, killed him. Since it didn't swing with him and he just had to pull off of that one. He's going to take a backswing here just to be safe. Grabs that last one and dismount. He's slightly behind Cooper's time now, but he's still got a great run up to this point.
This is very, very solid. Taking the swing on down off of the spinal. And he's got it. Still needs to move through these last two obstacles. He doesn't show any sign of stopping. Is he going to go on the other side first?
I think he was asking what he can use here. And
yes!
he jumps out.
Solid time save out of Luke Van Zeeland.
Oh,
and with that, just getting off.
He's got to go.
He's moving on to the final obstacle. This is going to be a big one. Can he get the buzzer? Oh my goodness, that was such a good link.
I know, I thought he was
going
to
get another one here. Of course he is, getting the buzzer. 1:30.58 seconds.
I think if he didn't have to use the retry on that cliffhangers, I think he would have had a faster time than Cooper because he was only 5 seconds behind at that point.
Very, very good stuff overall out of Luke Van Zeeland. We said it when it was the placement course. This kid has a lot of potential. Really hope he comes over to finals, because I can see with this kind of energy, he can wreak havoc on the courses and possibly get
Absolutely.
first place.
I really like too that his run was just like so like calm. Like he's moving fast, but he looks so calm and nonchalant out there on the obstacles. Very in control of himself.
It was crazy good.
Yeah.
I'm very, very impressed with how that one went. But now, Dane Walker, our final competitor left for the amateur division. He was able to be our fastest competitor on the placement course, and he ran that one first, so he has got the most amount of rest time possible for this division. Trains with True Momentum Elite. He's coached by Jonathan Binge, Carsten Williams, and Jacob Cantrell in Dallas, Texas, and Forge Ninja Academy with Coach Weston Boswell in Fort Worth, Texas. And Dane knows what he has to do if he wants to get first place.
Yep, he's got the advantage of running last. He knows he's going to have to move, probably not take any retries, probably not take any extra backswings if he wants to get that first place qualifying spot, which will put him in a better run order for finals.
This is going to be an interesting one out here. Here goes Dane. Is he going to be able to get the fastest time, or is Cooper Thompson going to be able to reign supreme over the rest of the field? This is going to be a tricky one. Dane, though, perfect. He linked backward with it. I like
that was
the
great
thinking.
Very good control on that first obstacle. He's building up the swing here. Goes on the side. Oh, but he sets him a little sideways on that
This is good.
throwback.
This is very, very good at the moment. I'm liking what I am seeing. Currently, age 15, Dane Walker, only 4 seconds behind the fastest pace. This is going to be a big one here. Is he going to go straight to the soul? Okay, careful there, fella.
Gosh.
Needs to try and go again.
To me, that's not a good idea, because we know with that obstacle, when you go to it, it doesn't swing. It's going to stop and you're going to keep going forward off of it. So I think it's smart to use that first one now on his retry.
Here we go now. 1 minute, 35 seconds. Was very calm and eased himself going into that final cliff, which is very, very good. Here he goes, nearly 7 seconds behind the fastest pace. I think he might be able to get through to it, though.
Oh,
Here we go, our fastest non-finisher, Dane Walker.
All right, he's just got to clear 2 more obstacles to get himself to that buzzer. I want to know how big those cliffhangers are, because they look tiny on the other side of that board.
I know, you can see how much finger is just not on it.
Exactly.
But regardless, Dane Walker, just over a minute left. Is he going to do the massive link? He's going to take one more backswing just to be safe and dismounts backwards into third place. Only a few milliseconds behind second. That was close to second place, but that was still an incredible way to finish things out. He is going to the Premier Series Finals.
Wow, incredible runs from our amateur males. Man, Cooper just came out of the gate, though, and he was able to solidify that top time and made Dane and Luke chase him. And, you know, Dane was really pushing the pace, but still getting on the podium in this stacked division should feel amazing.
That was brilliant. Very eye-opening, I think. We had Kevin Helmer starting things off, sadly not qualifying for the Premier Series Finals. But regardless, we have our 3 clears, as well as Logan Parmenter in 4th place qualifying, with 3rd place being Dane Walker, 2nd place being Luke Van Zeeland, and then coming out of nowhere, Cooper Thompson being 1st place by over 5 seconds.
Yeah, he saved that potential for this challenge course, and that was incredible. I always have a lot of respect for athletes that maybe go out early or don't have a really good run on their first course, and they're able to kind of mentally pull themselves back together and just give an epic run for their second one. And that's what we saw out of Cooper.
I am in agreement right there. That was one of my favorite runs I've seen all day. Well done to our 2 females as well, Tracy Cummins and Layla Helmer. Doing very, very well, respectively. Very difficult obstacles, I think. I think it's a miracle we were able to see our males take it on with such a prowess.
Absolutely. And there we're going to see some of our amateur highlights from today. A really, really fun course, a really fun group of amateur competitors to watch and commentate. And like I said, I'm always a big fan of what Austin Ninjas puts together, and they had a fantastic group out here today.
Here we're having a look at Cooper Thompson, who ended up getting first place on our challenge course. One of the best runs of the entire day, with still 2 more divisions left to go. We're currently on the amateurs, just wrapped up. We've got the teen division starting in about half an hour, hopefully. I'll be back there with Kane Moulding, and then the elites will be starting out with Enzo Di Ferrari Wilson joining me on the commentary. But right now, Megan, thanks for joining me as always for the amateurs. Good luck next weekend at the Carolina Ninja Academy qualifier. We're rooting for you out here at the WNL team.
Thank you so much, Billy. Thank you, guys. And like Billy said, tune in for the rest of the day here. The action is not over, and it should be just even more exciting with our teens and elites.
I am in full agreement there. 2 more divisions to go. Nearly made it to the end. From Megan Budway and Billy Dixon, we will see you soon.